Good morning. Today's video is a tourist video of Lethbridge, Alberta, Canada. The city of Lethbridge has approximately 100,000 people. I'm not sure, but I think Lethbridge got its name from a giant bridge. Lethbridge has a massive bridge. Here's what it looks like. As you walk towards the bridge, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. It doesn't look that big in the video, but the bridge is actually quite big. It's I think it's the biggest bridge in Alberta. It's got something about it's not the longest bridge in the world, and it's not the tallest bridge in the world, but it's the longest, tallest bridge in the world. And it doesn't really seem that big if you look at it from far away, but if you get closer, it gets pretty big. If you walk up these stairs, you can get a view of the bridge that is a lot cleaner, and the value of the graphics is a lot better. Down this path, you can get closer to the river, but it's a little bit hard to get over there. If you walk up there, you can get to the city. Basically, the best thing that you can do is go to the area over there. This is Lethbridge Creek. It's very peaceful. It's a very good place to meditate. Lots of trees, and there's a lot of different types of plants in the area. There's even cactus up in the hills. A very dry climate. It has some of the best hiking trails in Canada. This is a picture of Scaredy. He lives in Lethbridge. He climbs up in those hills and picks cactus. Some of his favorite cactuses are pear cactus. He likes to hike through the trails of Lethbridge. Sometimes he hikes over to the other town of Diamond City, which is approximately 5 miles north of Lethbridge. Sometimes he will go to the east, and he will go to a little town called Coaldale, which is approximately 13 kilometers east of Lethbridge. And then, if he gets really bored, he goes to Calgary, which is a massive city. Calgary is the largest city in Alberta. It has over 1 million people. You could fit 10 Lethbridges inside of Calgary. It's got a building that is called the Calgary Tower. It also has a building that is huge with a bunch of X's on it, that has a giant metal head in front of it. One of the best things to do is to hike through downtown Calgary, but this video is only about Lethbridge, so I will go to another hiking trail in Lethbridge. This trail is very wild. There's deer everywhere. I just seen a deer over there, about 500 feet, frolicking and eating different leaves and grass and things like that. There's a huge population of gophers, but I haven't seen any down here. there's also skunks. And Lethbridge is home to many, many different porcupines. Like, I seen 10 porcupines in one day. They walk down here at night. They're very friendly creatures. Skunks are friendly too, but they can really spray very potent, stinky spray, and it's not good to be around skunks too much. The trees in Lethbridge are very big. Some of them are at least 100 feet tall. The clouds are fairly decent as well. Those hills over there have a bunch of cactus on them. That tree up there is home to a giant eagle. I don't see him today. Oh, there. I think that's him up there. He flies around quite a bit. Mostly what you'll see in Lethbridge is lots of probably rattlesnakes. There's probably 10,000 rattlesnakes that live here. On a clear day, you can see the city of Moongate on the moon. It is a giant city with over 500 million people. It's lit with these very bright, shining lights. You can slowly start to see them as the camera zooms in on the moon. You can see that the city is almost as big as maybe a small ocean or even a giant lake. The city up there has 500,000 streets. It's a huge, massive city, and I've never been there, but everybody that's told me about it says it's very cool, and I will take a trip there one of these days, but I don't have enough cash, so I'm going to save my money, and I will take a trip up there and check it out. As you can see, as you get closer to the moon, the city is starting to take shape. You can see there's a red thing at the end there. That's a giant, giant casino. It's got all these fancy things, big one-armed bandits and poker tables, and the casino has all kinds of different gambling apparatuses. The green dot is a giant grocery store. It's got more food than I guess most grocery stores have. And the purple dot in the middle, you can see that's a giant mall. It's 500 times bigger than the West Edmonton Mall. It's massive. The orange dot, I'm not really sure what that is, but it looks like it's massive. This is Tiny Tooth. He's like a koala bear. He only eats fruit from one tree. If you notice off in the distance, that tree that has the round, fruit-like looking things on it, it's a very unique tree to the city of Lethbridge. And I haven't seen it in any other places except here. It's kind of, I guess you could say unique. This highway takes you up to West think that there's suckers, and there could be sturgeon in there as well. Sturgeon are a prehistoric fish. Sturgeon have giant spikes on their back, and they don't have any teeth. And I think that they live in the Old Man River. This area over here, if you notice those bright trees off in the distance, those trees are cottonwoods. Cottonwoods are related to a poplar tree, but they're very, very cool looking. They have more character than your average poplar tree. Poplar trees are the ones that, if you have a campfire, they burn real fast. In order to keep it going, you need an extremely large amount of poplar. And if you look over there in the sky, you can kind of see that there's birds that fly up there. Most of the birds in Lethbridge are seagulls. There's one flying up in the sky by that tree. Now it's behind the tree, see? It's coming through the other side. Oh, it must have landed in the tree. I can't see it anymore. But there's also these other giant birds that are big eagles up there that fly. And if you go down over to the water and you look, you can see these other birds, and they're called pelicans. They have a giant fish beak that eats fish. They eat giant fish all day long, and they like to live in the Old Man River. But I guess some of the other birds are probably maybe pigeons. Sometimes there's red-headed birds. I don't exactly know what they're called. They're pretty cool looking. There's also magpies, which are really smart. They're like a crow, but they have white wings, and they kind of look like a penguin a little bit. They're very cool birds. Now, the bottom of this tree has some moss that's very cool on it. There's some other interesting hills over there in the distance, I guess. There's certain types of beetles that live in kind of the sandy areas. They're pretty shiny, and there's also multicolored caterpillars that have many different colors. Fancy caterpillars. They only come out once every 5 or 6 years. I've only seen them a couple of times. I'm not sure what kind of butterfly they turn into, but they're big. These caterpillars are at least 2 inches long. They're massive. They look like they're from outer space. They're really cool. I've also noticed up on top of that